There we go. Hi there, welcome. How are y'all doing? I started this on a previous live the other day, and I've come back to continue working on it. I apologize that the screen is vertical. Maybe it's just a little bit darker. Hi there, welcome. How are you doing today? Let's see. Hi, hello. How are you doing? I apologize for any like throat clearing. I'm still getting over being sick, and my husband's sick with something new, so I'm just anticipating getting it. I haven't been feeling great, but it's okay. How are you today? Words. Hi everybody, welcome. Hello. My name is Bree if you're new here. I'm a digital artist. I also do traditional, but digital is probably my main love. It's also majority of what I paint. I do watercolor and gouache as well. And I'm creating a portal type world. Don't mind me. I'm gonna take out the sketch for now just so we can kind of see where everything's going. This is definitely not anywhere near the finished product. I'm just working in some things. I'm gonna try playing with some of the blending modes. I kind of like that. That would be nice, but it needs to be over here. Okay, so we will do I guess I'll do this and I'll lighten it up some, and then I will also do a new layer. Stick with this color for now. How is everybody doing today? Happy Sunday. Is everyone here an artist of some kind? And if so, what is your medium of choice? I'm definitely gonna go with probably add, and then just take it way down and then smudge it in. Sorry if you can hear my husband downstairs like coughing and clearing his throat from being sick. It's not going to stay this way, and I am going to I hate when I do that. Group. Let's see. Does that work? Okay. Hi guys, welcome. If you have any questions, things you would like to talk about, by all means, please feel free to mention them in the chat. So I definitely want there to be, I might even use the clouds for now, and then I'll break them up so they look more natural in time. Also, if you haven't yet, if you could just give this live a thumbs up, that would help a lot. Of course, no pressure, but if you did it, that'd be awesome. Does this layer do anything, or is it just, it's just a blank one hanging out? Awesome. Okay. I'm going to work on these here. Then I'm also going to start working on painting this the right color and then figuring out what we want to put down here. And then also upping the lighting on the actual portal itself. Thank you for liking. Muchly appreciated. And then I'm also going to have some light come down, and I want it to highlight here and bounce some light off here and across this way as well. Thank you. Welcome. If you haven't subscribed yet, oh, thank you. Thanks, guys. Oh, look at all you guys. I'm getting all the messages in. Hi. Hello. Appreciate you being here with me. I didn't plan this piece out at all, so you're literally seeing me sort of go through the process of figuring out what I want. I didn't even pick a palette. The only thing I did was put down a sketch just so I sort of knew where I wanted things placed, which if you do know me, you know I don't actually normally do sketching. I try to for my tutorials, but I usually forget because I'm so excited to jump into the project that I forget the sketch. So, which, by the way, I don't encourage that by all means. Do the sketch, be one with your sketch, incorporate sketches. Like, don't do what I do. Also, sorry for my squeaky chair. Let's see, should I should do add. Yes, I should. Going to put like this. I'm going to, on this, I know you can't see everything on this layer, I'm going to put the blending mode on add already. Hi, I remember you as well. Hello. Happy birthday. Okay, that's too much right there, but then we'll get it right. Eventually I would like it to be like a portal. I would like it to give the illusion of like a portal into another world. Let's see, I'm gonna move this up and see how it looks on the top layers. Okay. Elements, right? Yeah, okay. I'm gonna use snow to sort of highlight. Draw hot women. Maybe. I've done it before, but that's just not today's focus. Oh, thank you. Thanks so much, Jay. Thanks for hanging out with us today. I appreciate you. Okay, I'm still deciding if I even want that to be like the top, but I'm just gonna, instead of getting rid of it or erasing it, I'm just gonna keep it and then just draw on top and see what I come up with. I can always get rid of it later if I just feel like it's too clashing. Also, what I'm trying to do is stay within the brushes that come within the Procreate app. I have a lot of brush sets. And I do have ones that are specific to creating like forests and nature. And if that's something that you guys enjoy drawing, I really do recommend investing in one. Because it's really neat what you can create with these brushes and very easily. Let's see, I'm gonna go, yeah, I'll do this one to start. And I'm just gonna build in some more moss, maybe, except I accidentally put on the eraser. And what we want to do is sort of gradually move towards these colors here. So I'm going to slightly move more and more in the direction of blue. I'm going to actually move this layer up. Okay. Yeah. And then I also might put some down here. Sounds good. Thanks for hanging out. So are any of you digital artists as well? Do we have any traditional artists who are interested in digital art? Okay. I'm trying to think of stuff to talk about. I'm sorry. I know it's once I like when I'm painting. Sometimes I get in the zone, and then I forget that I'm live. And then when I remember I'm live, I'm like, oh, hi guys. I might have like maybe, I'm trying to think, maybe like mushrooms or something. Oh, thank you so much. Well, here's the good news with art. It's a skill set that you can develop. I did not always used to be at the level that I'm at. I also have plenty of subject matters that I'm not as comfortable with, that I'm not as practiced in, that I too am still learning. So, you know, there is no shame with wherever you are, and the way that we get better is through practice, you know? The amount of people that I've had say like, oh, you know, I can't draw. I'm like, it literally is a skill set. If it's something that you desire to actually learn, you absolutely could be, you know, better if you wanted to be. There's, especially like now, right? There's so much access to like information, like readily at our fingertips online. You know, there's a lot of ways to learn how to improve our skills for free. And then there's also really great like paid options as well. I'm losing concentration on what I'm doing. Let's see. I don't know if this will stick, but I would like some cute little mushrooms. Is anybody here, like, do you guys do art as a hobby, as a career? Is it something you'd like to do as a career in the future? Like, where's everyone at? You do it for enjoyment. There are no wrong answers. What would you recommend to start with as a beginner? Any methods? So I think first let's establish, are you doing digital or traditional? Like, what is your medium of choice? What do you typically utilize? Or what do you plan to utilize? In general, though, what I will say, regardless of what you do end up using, I think a mistake many young artists and new artists make, not all, but many, I in fact made this mistake myself, was I thought that if I used reference, that it was cheating, and that it was like, well, I guess I'm really not that good because I should just be able to do this if I was a real artist. And that was not true. And in fact, one of my college professors, to this day, I still quote him frequently. And he was like, if you're not using reference, you're an idiot. And he said it less kindly than that. And it wasn't directed at me. It was just like the whole class. Thank goodness it wasn't directed at just me. But that really stuck with me. And he had worked on, if anybody's old enough to know the movie, he worked on, I think it was the second Fern Gully, and he worked on a couple other animation films. So he was somebody that I really looked up to, who knew the industry and stuff. And, he was just brutally honest. He's like, you guys, how are you supposed to know how to do something if you've never done it before? And I was like, that's a good point. How could I know anatomy if I've never studied anatomy? So I really encourage you to study, and study well. And another thing that I learned when I was in school that I took with me, and this one's going to sound bad, so you have to hear me all the way out. Tracing is a really excellent form to learn. Now, that does not mean trace someone's work and then try and sell it as your own. That's definitely not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, take a picture of your hand, right? Take a picture of your hand. And let's say you're trying to learn, okay, how do I draw a hand? Draw your hand, or take several pictures of your hand. And then what you can do is just trace over the photograph. And the reason why you do that is because you're starting to get muscle memory of how things look, and how it comes together. And you can also, learn how to break down, okay, so there's like a rectangle-ish box here, there's a box here, there's a rectangle with a rounded edge here, right? And you can teach yourself by, whether it's reference or even through, drawing on top of the image and developing the recognition of the shapes within. You can also do that with colors, right? Like when you're observing something, you can go, okay, there's a block here of orange, there's a block here of white, because otherwise what you're looking at can feel like really overwhelming with color, right? So reference. It's probably one of the least, I'd say least liked advice out there, but I really can't stress it enough. And it doesn't matter what medium you're working in. Reference will always be important. I would also say another thing that I learned, and still even to this day sometimes can find myself slipping into it as well. I used to really struggle with this belief that, like, okay, if I just get better pens or better brushes or better this or better that, all of a sudden my skill set's just going to be infinitely better. And no, what's going to make me infinitely better is sitting down and actually drawing. That's what's going to make me infinitely better. Now, yes, there are things that can make our lives more convenient. There are definitely improvements that we can make. Acrylic paint, love it. I love acrylic paint. I tend to work in gouache right now, but I used to only paint in acrylic when I was in high school. And when the teacher made me vary up, then it would be gouache. But I love acrylic. One, definitely follow lots of acrylic painting artists, a variety. Make sure that you're acknowledging the different styles, especially actually, I would say, do styles that are outside your comfort zone. Study styles that you don't want to paint, because you'd be surprised what you can learn, because you're not just sticking to what your brain already recognizes and knows. I've actually learned a lot of skills for Procreate by watching content creators that make stuff that is not my style. It's not even in my realm of what I create, because they use different brushes or different buttons and different layers and stuff like that. I've learned so much by just being willing to say, this isn't what I would want to make, or this isn't typically within like my comfort zone, what I'd sit down and be like, yeah, I want to paint this. But they help me learn by pushing my brain to see things through a different light. Okay, I definitely need to get more. I need to ground these. I'm not on the right layer. Take this off Alpha Lock. Okay, so now I'm going to start figuring out some of this over here. When you use your acrylic, what do you typically what's the subject matter that you're most comfortable with, that you enjoy the most? Let's see, let's make this a little bit more orange. And find the right layer. Yes, okay. Taken a couple days away from this piece, and it's really coming together. I couldn't see where I was missing stuff, and now I'm starting to see. I'm like, okay, that needs to get worked on. That needs to get worked on. Let me see, what are other suggestions for like learning? I would say pick one thing to study. Flowers, love that. Okay, so you love flowers. Okay, so probably like nature, right? So what I would say in general is, so if flowers are your thing, pick a flower you're uncomfortable with and study the crap out of it. Study it well. If flowers make you want to sit down and paint, great. Start there. And then pick something that you have not done before. Maybe once you master all the flowers, or you start getting bored with flowers, then you go on to other types of plants, right? Honestly, I live for painting nature. Like I love nature. Here, I'll even show you guys. Hold on. Nature tends to be my subject matter of choice. Here's a tutorial I did the other day. I love nature. Who doesn't? I mean, there's probably people that don't. Like, I don't want to be in nature where there's bugs. I mean, I guess sometimes, as long as they don't come near me. Like, I love nature. Nature. More nature. Illustration nature. Another leaf, because it's fall season and I refuse to give up on it. More nature. This one's also in a tutorial if anyone is interested. This one's already loaded as well onto the YT. I do have a flower painting tutorial, but I don't know that it would be very helpful to you in terms of since you do traditional art, but I do have some. This one. Yeah, I love this is a watercolor, but it's like brought into the piece, but this is a watercolor I did. Yeah, I am a big, I can do other things, but I do really enjoy, I enjoy like green. Green is like in my palette, right? Green is definitely like teals and greens probably will always remain in my palette. I don't think that I could get away from that even if I wanted to. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right, back to the project. Back to my teals and greens. Again, even looking back, because I have been inconsistent with my work, so it's kind of like riding a bike. Like, can I still ride a bike? Yeah, I can. But am I like super good at it? No, I'm not. I have to, refresh. That's how my art goes. I pick it up for a while, I put it back down, and then when I pick it back up, I feel like I've gone back like 2 or 3 years in my progress. And then usually within a week, I'm like, oh yeah, okay, I've got the rhythm back. And so it's, thank you. I'm glad that you think they're all so pretty. I'm very fortunate that I have had time to practice to get back in it because it's been a minute. It's been a while. I can tell when I've taken a break. I'm like, oh, yeah, there it is, showing up. I think, too, one of the other things, I don't think that it matters too much whether you're working in digital or in traditional, unless you're a hyper realist in your style. Try not to get bogged down by extreme details because most people are not zoomed in looking at this and going, what is that weird line you put there? They're usually looking at your work from a pretty good distance, and all they really need is to know that it registers as light that you want it to. Can you guys hear the ice cream truck outside? Every once in a while this truck comes through and it also plays like it has like a Christmas song. it's like it's like July and then this Christmas song's on in the background. I'm like, nice. I mean, I don't mind, but all right. Oh, there's still so much I want to do. Where to begin? Where to begin? I think I want to start fixing this because I'm not a fan of how it's looking. So let me find my layer. Is this it? Alright, so let me erase this. Okay, much better. And now I'm going to start building in some stuff here, like maybe have some like a shadow almost of leaves and whatnot. Sort of break up this very harsh line. And then I'll also be making this more into stone, so, you know, it might help if I do something like, assuming I'm on the right layer, just like indenting just slightly to give the illusion of it not being perfect. I also can do some divots. I can also add some texture too, which I might do. So I'll just grab this color and I can go to artistic. I'm going to go to leatherwood. I typically use this for textures like the trees because I think it makes great bark, but I think I can get away with using it over here to sort of create more natural looking stone. Ignore some of the ways it looks now. We will correct that. I said this on my most recent live too, because I think it's just so important. If you can, try not to look at other artists' work and compare yourself. You can absolutely use them as inspiration, and I encourage that, right? But if you notice that looking at someone else's work is bringing your inspiration or your mood down, step back. Step back. They had to work really hard to get where they are, and you are going to work really hard to where you want to get. And it's okay that you may not be as far along as them, but you will get there in time. Okay, I'm going to do a really dark green. And do I want to use these? I think so. Maybe. Maybe not? Why aren't you? Oh, you're brushing over here, huh? Okay, I see how it is. Okay, so this is not what I want happening, so give me a moment. Go into my brush. We're going to fix the spacing. I still want the jitter pretty good, and okay, that should be good. Am I the only one that talks out loud to myself when I'm drawing? I like walk myself through what I'm planning to do. All right, and this is just to get the shapes down. I'm going to hand paint in stuff as well, but just to kind of get this basic like base shape down. Oh, Christmas songs. Dun, 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 dun. All right, I'm still using the same brush. I'm just tapping in some color variation. I don't know if that's coming through clear or not. Hopefully. More of a blue color. Some cool color in there. All right, that's probably good for now. Now I'm going to take it off Alpha Lock. I'm going to zoom in, grab one of the original dark colors, and then I'm going to go back to, let's see, what do I want to actually use? Yeah, I'll do this one. Hard airbrush. I know it's hard to see. I have the opacity down a little bit. I'm going to bring it up for now to probably about 90, around 2% on the size. And I'm just going to hand brush in some leaves that I would just like them to stand out a bit more. And also add some, I find what helps really bring out like the realism is having like little branches that stick out. And again, not all of it will be readable from depending on how far back someone is looking at the piece. So try not to get too in your head about those details and spend too much time working on things that people might not see unless your focus is hyperrealism, and that's really important to you. Obviously, I respect that. There are all different kinds of ways to do art. Okay, I'll do a few more down here. Go ahead and ask me what kind of plant I'm painting. I don't know. It's a made-up species. All right, I'm going to go back in here, and I'm just going to put on the alpha lock again. Hi, hello. And I'm going to go back into the Aurora brush, which I do have amended. I'm just going to make some of these darker again. No, there we go. All right, and then I'm also going to use this smudge tool. I'm going to use the same brush to sort of move some of this around. Oh wait, but I have to take off the alpha lock, my bad. There we go. Just to soften up some of it. And then because I do have this light coming back here, I'm going to push the light a little bit more. So I'm going to create some highlights here and along this back tree as well. And hello, by the way, how are you? All right, so still, I'm gonna go like this, put on the add blending mode, go to like a teal, and make sure I'm using the right brush, which I am not. There we go. Hi, hello, thank you. Thank you so much. Probably add some in here too. I might push some of the color on the ground here. And then I definitely want to make sure I have some like leaves that I paint in. Now I don't know, I might have to make some of them higher up. And then I might just have some of it just like catch some of the leaves here. Maybe even have like a, again, just depends what your preference is, but I want to make sure that I push the light. Light is one of my favorite parts of painting, and sometimes I will focus, like I didn't have to paint this detail as early on as I did, but I was like, no, I want to see the light on the tree. Light makes me feel like the piece is finally coming together, like I can start to see it. And I don't know if you guys are able to see it. I know the lighting sometimes can be difficult to see, but hopefully it's still registering for the most part. I'm just gonna highlight some of these leaves. That's fun. Okay, I'm going to put this this layer. There we go. And that means then I can use the eraser just to take out some of, we don't want it to be too consistent looking. So I'm just going to take out some of the colors. There we go. And, okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the opacity down quite a bit so that I can slowly work in some highlight on some of these leaves. There we go. Maybe just a little bit of this blue right around here. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to start working on whatever the heck is going on over here. I had in my mind like rocks and maybe some water right here. We'll see. We'll see. Can I pull it off? Nobody knows. I don't. Certainly I don't. But we're about to find out together. So let's see. Where's my sketch? Put the sketch at the top. If it allows me. There we go. Okay. And then I wanted stone steps sort of here leading there. So I'll do some stone steps here. And then, all right, so let's see if I can add stones. Sounds good. Don't know if it'll translate. I'll find out. So first I'm going to start with a really dark color. Make sure I put the size up. Do you ever give your work a name? This place looks like something out of a fantasy book. Well, I'm glad it looks like something out of a fantasy book. I definitely wanted it to have fantasy vibes. Especially, obviously, it's Portal, but the Portal part aside, sometimes I do. A lot of times I don't. Maybe that's something I should reconsider more. Maybe I would feel more of a connection to my work. I don't know if anyone else has this, but sometimes I almost dissociate from my work. I'll do it, and then I almost forget that I do it. And then when I go to look back through my work later on, I'm like, I made that? Like, I obviously remember, but it feels like foreign. It feels far away from my memory. That could be my trauma. Like I've said before, my other lives, I have a lot of trauma around my artwork. So I've done a lot of like pretending my art doesn't matter to me. And I think it just settled in to the point where quite literally I won't even recognize my own work sometimes. Okay. Okay, I might push some light up here. We'll see. Let's see if I can do that. I'm gonna grab one of these like greens. Get some moss up here to start showing us where the the stones are. Go into rainforest brush. I'm curious to know if you guys were to name this piece, what would you name it? I will not be offended. There are no wrong answers, unless you're being rude. But even then, I don't know that you'd offend me. I just would be like, that's not a good answer. Okay, good. You guys can see what I'm doing. For me, it's really hard to see with my current lighting, so I'm literally standing up to make sure that it's registering for you guys. And then I'll pick like one of these greens, take down that lot. Also, is anybody here neurodivergent, or is it just me? And also, if you're not neurodivergent, that's totally fine. Acceptable. Love it. There's no problem with that. I was just wondering. Let's see. I'm not totally in love with like the rock situation, so maybe I might push it just a little bit more this way. I think that maybe would be better. Ooh, hiding place. Love it. Very good. I've always been since I was a kid, reading fantasy has always been a way of escapism for me. Still is, as an adult. I love fantasy. Yeah. I'm going to try and bring in some of these colors over here, like maybe it's reflecting, it'll reflect off like the water a little bit, and maybe up here. We'll see how it turns out. Maybe start with something darker though. My squeaky chair. I gotta figure out how to make it less squeaky. Drives me crazy. I love the chair. I just don't like that it squeaks. I think also something I could or should consider. I'm just getting some of this down because again, the color, pushing the color is where I feel like I'm able to like envision where I want to go. So I might be a couple steps ahead of where I actually should be, but this is just how my brain processes it, so. Nope, that lighting is not right. Maybe having it on here. Maybe if I push the light out here a bit more. And I definitely, let's see, where is this one? I want to fix this. I don't like the way this is. This is definitely like a different for me. This is not in a bad way, but for lack of a better word, like weird. It's weird processing in real time my painting, because typically, right, when I'm like when I post my tutorials, like I've planned it out, I know how I need it to look, right, and then I've broken it down into steps for you guys. So it's really interesting trying to process something in real time with like an audience. You guys get to see the unhinged thoughts in real life. Okay, and maybe I can have almost like light. Okay, I'm gonna try something. We'll see if it works. Uh-oh, I'm out of layers. Okay. So let's see, what do I want to combine? I can combine these three, these two. Take off that. Combine that. Add that. That's probably enough layers for now. Okay. And now I just got to figure out where I was thinking of working on it. Dang it. There was something. Oh, I wanted to try something here. I think maybe putting it on add and going to water. Is water it? Okay, no. Elements. Okay. Let's see what happens. Add. Okay. Okay, so that did work. I just didn't have add on at the time. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now let's see what happens. Okay, I'm going to erase this part down here. Put a new layer. Put this on. Draw. Put this here. I'm going to distort so that it has a little bit more perspective in it. And then maybe just take out some of the opacity so it's not so bright. And just for funsies, don't mind me, I'm gonna just see if this would look better, slightly different color. I'm not on the right one. My brain. Okay, let's see. Okay, so no on that. Okay, I think I like it being just a bit on the brighter side like that. Okay, combine those. And then we'll see about adding more light. I could be wrong. This might end up not being what I end up going for. No. Mm-mm. Absolutely not. All right, but what I might be able to do, and I still might change this, guys. Who knows? I definitely know that this needs to be brighter up here, though. So maybe I just need to like work it in to above the trees. Okay, I'm gonna keep that as is for now. I think the only other thing I'm gonna do though is use the eraser. Oh, not like that. Just here a little bit, just to lighten this intensity up, because it's a little much. Okay. All right, and since I have these lights, that means now, theoretically speaking, should be able to add like more highlights in here, assuming I'm on the right brush. Which also means a little bit pushing the light here as well. So then, no. Is it this one? Yes. Okay, so I'm going to start working in the water here, and I'm going to figure out lighting here. I'll figure it out. We'll figure it out together. I'm also going to have to figure out the water edge as well, but again, we'll get there. One bit at a time. Let's delete this because I don't want that light there. And we're, okay, so that's on the rock. I'll just combine those. And, okay, that's lighting. There. This piece is really challenging me, but like in a good way. This is like more in depth than I would normally render pieces. So it's been a while. Let's do like a brown over here. Or instead of brown, do I want to, maybe I'll make it these colors. Maybe I'll pull these colors in over here instead. All right, just taking my eraser and just gently lifting up over here because we don't want it to be too crazy bright. There. And then Also, if you haven't liked this video yet or subscribed, please do. But also, I totally understand, no pressure. It would be appreciated, but I also, like, the last thing I want to do is make anyone feel like, you know, like they're obligated to do something. Just, that's no fun. Okay, let's see. I don't know that this is what I'm going to stick with, guys, so bear with me on this. I'm adding in a little bit of the orange colors. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. So I'll combine that. I'm going to go into elements. I'm going to use this oceans brush just to add some more like waves in there. Okay. And then I might take this down just a touch, combine. And now I'm going to go into the add mode, and I'm going to go to, let's see what this does. I'm not sure how I'll like it or not. I think it's probably going to be too much. Yeah, and I think I need to hand draw it in. I also could try this. Let's see, okay. So drawing it like that, but then making sure that I make it so that it is perspective-wise correct. But I don't know that I really like that either, so I am going to just hand draw in. Make sure that I'm on. And liked and subscribed, even though I can't use Procreate properly because my iPad is outdated. Oh no! For the Apple Pen. But I digress. I love watching this regardless. I'm so sorry. I know you can draw with your finger, I'm pretty sure, but I do know that it's not nearly as fun. I'm so sorry. Before I had this iPad, I had one that was not compatible, and it was like my dream. I was like, one day I want an iPad that's compatible with like an actual stylus so that I could draw, and then eventually we were able to make that happen, but yeah. For a long time I was working on Photoshop on very old desktop using an old school like Wacom tablet that was like maybe like this big, and it, like, you know, back in the day it was like the main one that you could get, and but there's like so many fancy ones, and now they have ones with like the screens, you know, like screens like this, but you know, I'm like drawing on here, but then my computer screen's over there, and yeah, being able to draw directly on an iPad now is like life-changing. I really appreciate you subscribing and supporting, Jay. Thank you. Let's see, I'm just gonna do regular Gaussian blur. And then just keep working in those colors. My poor husband, so sick. I don't know if you guys can hear him. Poor guy. Okay, so now I'm just going to smudge this just a little bit to take out some of the intensity, and I'll probably rework the water some more as we figure out more of the piece, but this is good enough for now. Okay, so then there's just a few things that I need to like figure out. Like I need to figure out what's happening here. And I think what I'm going to have happen here is I'm going to have some of the fog, like the mist from the waterfall, come over here. Definitely want it to like take out some of the background there. I also don't want the details to be like super overwhelming, so I am going to use Gaussian blur, and then I am going to just erase any areas I don't really want it touching yet. Undo it. No? Okay. That's fine. All right, cool. So I'm also going to go over to these. I'm going to use the smudge tool. I'm just going to smudge out some of the harsher edges here. All right. So, again, sorry guys, I know I'm a little bit slow on this. I really am not used to having to process my painting in real time. So I'm literally like looking at it and trying to figure out what I want to do next. All right, it's probably good enough for now. I'm going to put in some like leaves up here. Hopefully they'll just be shadowed, nothing that stands out too much, but just something to give it a purpose, because right now this is not purposeful. This does, I guess it kind of does a little bit, but not what I'm hoping for. And I also need to figure out what I want to do more specifically with this waterfall effect thing, because it's yeah. There, that color. I'm just gonna use one of the pre-made brushes, this one, see what I can do with it, since I'm trying to keep it mostly shadowed. Oh, not that. That's for sure. be. Is that too much? Maybe that one is a little too much. Can turn on the size. That's a little bit better. I'll work with that. Okay. I definitely think I'm probably gonna have to go soon. I can tell I'm like losing my umph. And that's not personal to you guys. I have an autoimmune disease and I get tired really easily. It does not take much for me to start to like lose my momentum. I have to do things in small spurts to get them done. Nope. Just take some of that color back out. Hi, hello. Welcome, welcome. How are you? Thanks for joining. Let's see. I really like this color. I think it's going to be too bright, so I just got to be careful how much I mix of it in. Okay, so I think the only other thing... Oh, awesome! Yes, Procreate is a lot of fun to work in. I have a deep, deep passion for it. I'm going to soften up these edges because really I don't want too much to be in focus. I really want this to be the main focus, but I do obviously want to keep highlights and stuff like that, but I don't, thank you. But I don't want it to take too much of the focus away. So I'm just going to gently soften up these edges. They'll still, I think, read like to the eye from a distance. It just won't be as harsh of a line. Okay, and then just a little bit down here. That should be pretty good. All right, so yeah, it's still readable, but it's also not super sharp lines. Cool. I'll figure this out soon. We're gonna go over here. I might add in some of this yellow color into over here. So let's see what I can do with that. I'm going to put Alpha Lock on this one. And I might just stay with cotton and see what happens. I'm currently working on Halloween designs. Oh, I love that. I've I like diving in a magical forest. Thank you. I'm all in for fall right now. Whether that be like Halloween theme or like autumn, I'm just all about it right now. Okay, cool. So I've got that established. I just gotta figure out down here, and then I wanna create my little path, which probably needs a little bit of this brown in there. I will stay on for like, let's see, what time is it? Like, I'll stay on until like 12 more minutes, and then I'm gonna go. Let's see. Oh, sorry, I just realized I'm shaking the camera because I'm having my anxious leg bobbing up and down. I think too, what I also need to do, because I think this is too in focus, I'm going to grab my trees. I'm going to grab the back side of this tree. I'm going to grab feather, just a little bit. And then I'm going into adjustments and then Gaussian blur. And so it's going just like 3 or 4%. Let's see. Yeah. And then now that edge isn't nearly as sharp. So it was before, after, before, after. Nope, that's before, after. There we go. Am I a full-time artist? Technically, no. I am a stay-at-home mom who, like, well, I was a stay-at-home mom. My youngest just started kindergarten. So, I am now officially, during the weeks, able to utilize my time to do my art. So technically, yes, now I am a full-time artist, but it hasn't been that way because my kids keep getting sick. So I feel like more like a part-time artist who desires to be a full-time artist. But, you know, take it in stride. Okay. And then I'm going to start with this brush. Don't ask me why. I'm trying to see if I would like the color variation that it provides, or if it would just be too much texture and I really need to tone it down. Yeah, I hate it. Okay, so we're not going to do that approach. I will just stick with the one color. I will go to the rainforest brush and I will slowly, I wonder if I can get away with some of this. Let's see. Let's see. I don't know. Maybe like around here at the front I could. We'll see. All right. I'm still working hard to become one. Nice. You know, there's a lot of options, you know, out there now for artists that weren't out there before, especially with like online and stuff. There's lots of freelance work. There's YouTube. There's social media in general. There's a lot of like, you make digital products, sell your art, you know. That's definitely like one nice thing is there's a lot of options now that weren't available even just like 10 years ago, at least not at the same accessibility that it is now. I feel like I probably need to bring this up here because I'm probably minus maybe, let's see, sense. Right, this is the water. Okay. Keep track of your layers, guys. Don't do what I'm doing. No, I mean, I think a lot of people do what I do, so, you know, it's all just, let's be real. Okay, so that's a good start. I'm going to use gradient, or not gradient, Gaussian blur, just to take out some of that texture for now. Let's grab this color. Work it in here. Okay, so now that I sort of have an idea of where stuff's gonna go, I wanted to put like stones, stepping stones for me. Question is, which color? I think I'm going to start with one of these colors back here, and we'll see where it goes. Let's start with this. Here's my sketch. All right. Just get down some of the shapes and I can fix it after. Okay. What are your favorite subject matters? Draw along. Is it Yannick? Am I saying it right? I apologize if I did not say it right. Okay. So I think I can probably keep this one, this color, just like kind of playing off this idea that somehow this color's bouncing down here. But I do need to work in some more of this orange yellow color into these in the front. However, I need to move them up some. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. Okay. So I think just color. It just needs like a good. I apologize if my camera is bouncing. I'm working on getting something more stable for my camera, but this is what I got so this one, I'm sorry, again, if I'm talking out loud, and just, it's weird, I know. As an only child, at least I grew up as an only child. I do have siblings, but I grew up as an only child, so there's a lot of talking to myself. Yes, this is Procreate. And let's see, let's maybe grab this color. I talk to myself, and I have 2 siblings. You're good. Oh, yay! Oh, good. Good to. I'm glad I'm not alone. Right, let's see how this reads from afar. Okay, that's better. Like, I don't want it to be one solid color, but I also want it to you know, give the illusion of light. Okay, I used Google Translate. Elena? Hi. Thank you very much for being here and for your kind words. Oh, the ice cream truck's back. All right. And eventually, once I am done with this piece, I will break it down into easier steps and make it into a tutorial so that you guys can make this yourself, or at least something similar. Then I'll be able to have some direction, and that way you guys don't have to take nearly as long as I did to figure out what to do. All right, and I definitely need to make sure I have shadows behind them, because if light's going this way, there would be shadow. All right. Just add a little bit here, maybe here. This ice cream truck's really setting the ambiance, isn't it? All right, let's see. Okay, I think that mostly reads. All right, and then I'll go like, I think the only other thing I'm going to do is just do just a touch more highlights, just to push the lighting on it a bit. Yeah, I think that'll be good. I might have to put some texture on them so they feel a little bit more like not smooth stone. God, I feel so bad. I don't know if you guys can hear my husband like coughing. He's so sick. And he's watching our children. Poor guy. Okay, I feel like that's reading pretty well. Definitely needs more, but I think it's reading okay. All right, that's fine. I lost some of the, but that's fine. Okay. I'm going to do a clipping mask just in case I decide I don't like what I'm about to do. I'm going to organics. Which one do I want? Clay? Let's try clay. And then I'm going to try some different blending modes to see if, like, I like multiply so far. But I'm just going to see if there are. Well, that's kind of cool. I kind of like that bounced off light. Okay, I might consider painting that in myself though. But get some shadow in there first. Okay, so I'm definitely going to put on multiply, maybe take it down just a touch. I might smudge some of the texture just a bit. Okay. All right, and I think, okay, I'll just combine. I think I want like a cool color. Something that's a little bit different than what we've been using. I don't know that this will read, but we'll try it. Oh, sorry. My glasses hit the phone. All right, let's try. I'll do that. That's fine. I can always change the color of it if I want more. Oh. I'm still getting used to the Apple Pen pressure sensitivity. I've been working without the Apple Pen for the last 4 years. Yeah, the last 4 years. And those styluses don't have like the pressure sensitivity and stuff, so I'm getting used to it now. It's been quite a learning curve. Maybe I'll even try and make some shapes in there. I'm having so much fun with this piece. Okay. So, I mean, I'm definitely at a point where I should probably step away soon so that way I can see what I'm missing. If you don't do that and you somehow manage to get your piece right on the first go, I'm really proud of you, and also teach me. But I find that I have to step away from my pieces if I want to see, especially like ones that are fully rendered, like I'm trying to do like a whole piece like this. I have to take some steps away and just sort of like reset. This is the piece I want to be on. Just did that yesterday. Actually, I was working on a sketch a few months ago that I just came back to and I finished it. Nice. I feel like sometimes, right, our eyes get just super adjusted to something. We get so used to looking at it, we don't see where maybe the composition might be off, or maybe the coloring's not quite right. You know, I definitely feel like sometimes just taking a break and allowing your eyes to forget what it looks like can really help you realize where some issues might be occurring in your piece. And also just sometimes it also, I think, instills like a new sense of excitement in working on a piece, because I mean, when you're stuck on the same piece, I don't want to say stuck in a mean way, but when you're working on the same piece for such a long time, it can feel kind of, at a certain point, you're kind of bored, like I want to move on to the next thing, or maybe that's just me. But okay, another thing I'm going to do before I leave is, this is too bright up here. I'm saying that right now, so this needs to be darkened. So I'm going to select the layer. I'm going to choose the selection tool, and I'm just going to grab the area. I'm going to use feather, and then adjustments. I'm just going to make this darker this way. There we go. I think that looks better. All right, again, not finished, but you know, we're getting there. We're getting there slowly but surely. I'm feeling pretty good. I definitely need to do more work, like in the colors on here, and I need to figure out what I want to put over here, and you know, we need to maybe just put a little more detail in the grass, but we're getting there. We're really close. We're getting close. Well, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. Truly appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed and you would like to, please do. If you haven't liked this live and you would like to, also please do. If you want to check out my other work, I have plenty of tutorials already out. I can show you some that I have. Let's see. I have this tutorial already out for fall. I had a lot of fun with this one. And even now looking at it, I'm like, there's things I could have done different, but it's finalized now. Here's another tutorial I have out right now. Look at that water. Of all things, this entire piece, my favorite part was the water. I have a tutorial for this piece. I've seen some really great tutorials, man. Like people trying them. Here's another one that I did. Don't ask me why it has green in the corner, but I also have a tutorial on how to paint this part, not that part, but this part. And I have more. I also have this one. This one's probably one of my, not first, but earlier tutorials. So this tutorial probably is difficult to follow if you are not already very familiar with how to work in Procreate. I probably in those videos am not great about explaining each of my steps as thoroughly. So anyways, thank you guys so much. I hope you have a really fantastic rest of your Sunday. I hope you have a really wonderful week. May it be smooth sailing for all of us. And may everyone also be healthy. No sickness for anybody. All right. Hopefully I'll be live sometime, hopefully tomorrow, but right now with my kids sick, I'm not sure. We'll see. All right, everybody. Have a good night. Talk to you soon.